So we should be live again on YouTube. So I already gave a brief overview yesterday about some events, but in case you have any question related to World Archery event, I will take them before we go with the proceedings and with future organizers that will give an overview. So if there's any questions on events, I can take them now. If not, we go to the presentation of the International School Sport Federation. And I ask School Sport Federation, that's Paris. So Rifat, if I can ask you to the podium, and he can give an overview of what is happening with ISF.
I'm not that tall. So, good afternoon, everyone. Since 2019, I became International School Federation Archery Technical Coordinator. I was supposed to have my first gymnasiate last year in Xinjiang, in China, but because of the COVID, it was delayed for 2021 and then to 2022, as you will see now. So Archery started in Gymnasiates program in Trabzon in Turkey 2016, the Marrakesh 2018. It was the third edition. It was Xinjiang, but now before Xinjiang, we'll have Normandy, because Gymnasiates are every single 2 years. So Normandy will be in May. I will talk about Normandy later. And Xinjiang will be late 2022, November, December. Which events do we have in the Gymnasiate? We have individual, men and women. We do have team events, of course, 3 men, 3 women. We have mixed team event per countries, but also, as we do have in the Youth Olympic Games, we do have the international mixed team events, gathering people from different countries to compete together, like friendship relay, something to join and enjoy together. So first of all is Normandy 2022. There's a small video. I don't know if we can show it. If not, we can go on. Just clicking on the picture below. Yeah, doesn't mind. We're going, so we can be faster. So it's important for ISF because it's the 50th anniversary from ISF, International School Federation Foundation, in 1972. And for France, it's important because, as they say, it's the games before the games. Remember, they have the Olympic Games in Paris in 2024. So they expect 5,000 athletes from 80 countries, 19 sports, archery among them. It's under 18 archers. Since this year, ISF split the gymnasiates from under 15 for kids aged 13, 14, and 15 years old, and then the under 18 gymnasiates for athletes aged 16, 17, and 18 years old. And for the first time in ISF, we'll have recurve and compound. Till now, it was only for recurve archers, but now we do have recurve and compound, so it's a good opportunity for your young archers to go and compete overseas. We go fast with the athletes village will be in Deauville, close to the seaside, which is very nice. And the archery venue is in Caen, in the Benoit Stadium. So it's around 55 minutes drive from the athletes village to the archery venue. So all athletes will have lunch in the archery venue, breakfast and dinner in the athletes village. So this is Xinjiang. We will not display the video. It was supposed from the very beginning to be the biggest gymnasiad ever. It was the aim of Chinese government. You know how Chinese go this way. They expected 10,000 athletes, and for that they paid, and I think they will do the same in late 2022, to pay all accommodation and meals for all the archers and participants coming. So the only fee archers have to pay is the ISF fee, which is great, I think. And they also offer an 80% discount on flight fares for participants coming from countries further than 5,000 kilometers from Xinjiang. So it's also a good advantage. So I don't know if with all these changes, because the final decision to delay the gymnasiad from 2021 to this 26th of November of 2022 was taken 2 weeks ago. So I think the conditions will remain. So it's a very good opportunity for your archers to go to China. Remember, accommodation and meals is covered. They only have to pay the ISF fee, and there's a big discount on flight fares. Obviously, if you book it in advance, but it's a very good opportunity. Still to confirm if we will have compound in Xinjiang in China, because from the beginning it was only expected to be recurve. So this is the venue where archery will be held in Xinjiang, the Xinjiang Middle School, and there will be no village in Xinjiang, because all the athletes coming, these 10,000 expected athletes, will be hosted in Xinjiang hotels. So they will split for sports in different hotels, so as transportation can be easier. As I said before, for the first time ever, the ISF organized the Under-15 World School Sport Games. So the first edition was like a few days ago, in September 2021 in Belgrade, in Serbia. So the next edition, 2023, will be in Brazil. We are working on having archery in the program. I think we will have it, because I was asked like a few months ago if countries would be happy to send young archers, remember 13, 14 and 15 years old, for international competitions. Of course, these competitions are normally run or organized in your countries by the National School Federation, but I think it could be a very good opportunity also to have these very young archers competing and knowing people all over the world. So in case you are not familiar to ISF, in case you want to get more information about the International School Sport Federation, you have the website on this display, you have the social media, they are very active. And also it's my email address as the archery TD in ISF, so feel free to write me whenever you want, and I will try to do my best to help you all in whatever needed. And finally, I will talk a little while about the Mediterranean Games, because I'm also in charge of this event in terms of archery. So the following edition will be June 23rd to 28th. There's very little information, actually, but we have the practice field open from June 23rd, and competition days June 26th, 27th, and 28th. And the good thing, at least because from the very beginning, the archery venue was 35 kilometers far from the Olympic village. The good thing is that they have changed it, and now it's like just 4 kilometers away in the annex stadium of the Olympic complex. So remember, Mediterranean Games are for those countries that are surrounding Mediterranean Sea. So I will be very happy. Last edition was in Spain, so I will be very happy to meet you in Oran, Algeria in 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rifat. And then the next presentation is going to be Paris 2024. So we will listen to a video recording from the Executive Director of Sport and the sports responsible for archery at the moment from the organizing committee. So we will have a video from Jean-Philippe Gatien and Brigitte. So please go ahead.
Dear Archery family, we are really happy to be here and thank you for this opportunity you offer us to present and speak about the Paris 2024 project. I am Jean-Philippe Gatien. I am the current sports director of Paris 2024.
And I am Brigitte Légaré. I'm the senior sport cluster manager for the region of Paris Center.
We wanted to take this opportunity to present you the project, giving an update on the archery venue, of course, and some different topics. But first, we would like to speak about our vision and the vision of Paris 2024. It's not really a claim in one sentence. We have different pillars to present to you. First, we have a strong belief in Paris 2024 that sport change lives, definitely, and we want really to focus and to give the opportunity for Paris 2024 to put more sport in people's life. We have an ambition as well to awake the athletes within each of us, definitely be inspired by the athletes. We are just back from Tokyo and it was amazing during the Olympics and the Paralympics, and I think we need to think about that. And it's definitely for us a way to reveal the best of each of us, and that's really an ambition we have. Of course, we have a promise as well that the energy of the games for the benefit of all. We want really to engage all the generations, all the territories here in France and abroad to put more sport in their life. So whatever your age, whatever your location in France, we develop some program, we develop some project. We work a lot with the National Association, of course, the French Archery Association, to promote sport, to promote the value of the sport. And we really want to spend that and expand that during all over the country. We have a design as well. You probably already seen some pictures back from Tokyo. We had an amazing celebration in front of the Eiffel Tower in Trocadero for the Olympians and Paralympians. We want really to have a new games model to inspire today and prepare tomorrow. Surprise, bring sport out of the stadium in iconic location, and your sport is really definitely an example in the Invalid. And we really have the ambition to be revolutionary, breaking the codes, and propose some creative idea and be bold as well in the way we communicate and we present sport. And we're going to have a really strong collaboration with your international federation on the sport presentation as well. And of course, an attitude, we want to be excellent, to share as much as we can this vision, and we already work on that to say that the project Paris 24 is really made with the others and for the others. Let's have a focus now on the location of the venue, and I pass the floor to Brigitte.
Merci, Jean-Philippe. For those who are not familiar with Paris, so the airport where you all be arriving, for those who are not from the Paris region, you will be arriving on your screen right now. It's up in the right up corner. So this is where the Aéroport Charles de Gaulle is. You will make your way from the airport down to the athlete will make their way to the Olympic Village. That's just what in the prefecture we call Saint-Denis. That will be also a center place for the Stade de France, where at the track and field will be happening in Rugby 7. The aquatic center won't be that far also from that venue. But I think what you guys want to know is where is archery in this fabulous city? But it's actually what, like I said at the beginning, in what we call Paris Centre, Paris Center. You are in the center where you see the little red arrow right now. This is where the archery venue. It's what we call Les Invalides. It's in the heart of Paris, the Paris. Your venue doesn't change at the Paralympic game. It is still at the same venue at Les Invalides. And I'm going to show you now a map. Just when I say the core of the game, you'll understand. So on the next, I think it's going to be a bit more clear. You have over here what we call Les Invalides, our venue for archery and para archery. You have a bridge, and then on the other side, if you want to, you could go watch some fencing or taekwondo or para fencing or para taekwondo. On the other side, you will have the Stade Urbain de la Concorde, when we'll have at games time 3x3 basketball, breaking, skateboarding, BMX freestyle. And on the other side, near the Eiffel Tower, we have Le Pont d'Iéna with our water sport, triathlon and marathon swimming. And you have beach volleyball, judo, wrestling. That's going to be at Eiffel Tower and Champ de Mars Stadium. So as you can see, you are honestly in the heart of Paris. There's no more center than this. Your venue is stunning, and without further ado, we will take you to that venue with more specific information.
Yes, that venue is located at 10 kilometers from the Olympic Village, so 30 minutes with the Olympic Way, with a spectators capacity of 8,000. The orientation venue shooting is perfect north-south axis. Definitely, as Brigitte said, a stunning venue where you will have stunning images on the background with a famous places called Les Invalides.
Sorry, I really like that venue, and each time I see that picture. So this is going to be the background for your shooter when they're going to be on the final field of play for their the final for each of your sport categories events. So that will be the background of what we see on TV, basically. This is the magnificent Hôtel Les Invalides. That's how we call it. L'Hôtel Les Invalides is actually was built during Louis XIV, and it was a military hospital and retirement home for veterans. And today it's a French military history museum. And for those who love war history, Napoleon is actually his tomb is over there. This venue is in front of what we call Le Pont Alexander III. This is one of the magnificent bridge of Paris, right at the bottom of the Seine, and your actual both field of play are on what we call l'Esplanade des Invalides. This is, you're going to be staged in the middle of the street. We're going to be building temporary infrastructure. Like Jean-Philippe already mentioned, the orientation is north-south. You have trees on the east and east of the venue, and you're gonna have, I think, a unique, like mentioned, a unique experience for the athlete and the spectator, everybody that's going to be coming for to watch your sport. So without further ado, this is a first draft, and I want to mention a first draft because this is the architect are actually starting to work on 3D drawing of all our venues. You don't have any back of house, you don't have anything. This is not a done draft. I just want to mention it once again. We still have work to do on those, but basically what you have at the top right now is the actual sign, which is the waterway. Alexander III Bridge is over here. So you have the entry of the spectator from on the side of the water, making their way to the field of play ranking. They would be passing on each side of the ranking field of play to make their way to the stadium for the final. This is the actual, your athlete in final would be shooting from here. And we have the vision of this same venue from the bridge. This is the angle we had, and this is what we say. You see the Hotel Les Invalides. This is the background you have right now. Want to add anything?
No, again, amazing and stunning location with Les Invalides and this position and central position in Paris in an iconic venue. I think the proximity of the Grand Palais definitely will offer some stunning images on the other side as well. So on both sides, whatever the position camera, we're gonna have a big exposure from your sports, and we are really keen to offer you that.
The two next pages is basically, for those who are familiar with game, this is what we call our venue design book. This is a draft of the version 2 that we are actually updating as we speak for Les Invalides. We had a meeting earlier this year with the World Archery team that was at the World Cup here in Paris. We sat down with version 1. We commented on version 1. We've changed, they asked us to change stuff, to move stuff around. Our other function also working with us here at Paris 2024 are starting to be more staff. So now we work with those functions to make sure the space we put for TV or back of house or catering, spectator services, we make sure everything is captured in those drawings. So the next step for us is at the end of October, we will officially publish what we call our venue design book number 2. And with that version of drawing, we'll be going back to each of our IF, and in your case with the World Archery, we'll sit down with you guys with that version of the drawing to make to get this drawing in a more precise for the version 3 that will be launched in 2022. The goal is will be more precise per space. Will ensure we can start actually breaking down each of the space. And for the version 4 that is due in more in 2023, end of 2023, we will be dividing your spaces will be actually fit in with the equipment, the chairs, the table, and everything that's going to go in there. So right now, as I want to mention, because Mr. Dillon, you were at that meeting in Paris, there's some stuff that we discussed about that hasn't been moved around. There's some stuff that needs to be moved around on that drawing right now. We are in the process of doing this. So what you see right now, this is your final field of play ranking with the 8,000 sitting. Just for all of you guys, for those who want to buy ticket and see the Eiffel Tower, also you need to be on the east side of the venue, because on the west side you'll have the Eiffel Tower top popping up from the apartment on the other side of the venue. So it's just a little queue for those who want to buy ticket. And then on the other page you have your front of house more that's shown. So this is where the spectator will be making their entry. They will be going through catering. We discussed with the World Archery to add initiation target. That what you see right now, there's a little yellow square over here. We are making some tests right now with security and fire department to see if we can put those over there. We are in discussion right now after the meeting we had with World Archery, and this is the field of play ranking drawing.
Thank you, Brigitte, for this exhaustive presentation. Hope you get every details. One word regarding the pre-games training camp platform, because it's an important topic for every country who wants to come to France before the games to train and to accommodate to our country, to the jet lag, and to be able to train in a very good condition. So we have opened our platform. You can see the link directly on the screens. It's really a dedicated and specific platform where you can choose when all the locations are listed and where you can choose your sports. And for example, in the archery, we have around 20 places where you can come all over the countries to work and to train. So it has been really a long work in which one we have implicate all the national federations, and thanks again for the French Archery Federation for their technical input to analyze every location and to give the stamp on, be sure that those locations are correctly accommodated for the archery. If you move to the next slide, you can see that exactly 19 locations all over the country are registered in our catalog. So do not hesitate to go there, to work there, and to speak with some foreign friends to vote. But I want just to add that the role of Paris 2024 is limited to the publication of this platform. That's a request from the IOC, and definitely we have done it. So now you can pick and choose and see if all those territories are keen for you to be welcome and to train with all the delegations. So thank you for your listening. I think it was important for us to spend a little time with you. As mentioned, Brigitte, we're going to have much more details to tell you next year probably. So we send you all the best wishes from sunny Paris. Have a great Congress. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary General Tom, and all the executive members for offering this opportunity to talk to you today. We are available anytime if you have any questions. We are not unfortunately live, but you can send your question or give your question to Tom, and we will be really keen to answer all the questions you may have. Have a good Congress. Thank you very much for your time, and can't wait to welcome you in Paris in 2024, and at your disposal anytime to answer your question. And we are strongly committed, as you saw on the presentation, to deliver an amazing archery and para-archery competition all together with the International Federation, and having some initiation program with the French Federation as well. So thank you. See you next time. And I give the floor to Brigitte.
You said everything.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And really looking forward to see you all in Paris. It's a stunning venue. Every time I go over there, I'm always amazed by the venue we're going to have for archery and para-archery. Looking forward to work and see you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone.
So we had this video pre-recorded because we wanted to give them the weekend off. But we thank the Paris Organizing Committee for this video presentation. Are there any specific questions to Paris at this moment? I promised that I would answer them, and if I can't answer them, I will send them to them, and you will get them to you in the minutes. Of course, I'm sure there is questions in terms of things like, what is the program? Well, the program is exactly the same as was the case for the Olympics in Tokyo, so 5 medals. For the with 128 athletes, so 64 men, 64 women. For the Paralympics, we know that there will be 9 medal events, but we can't give you numbers of athletes yet because they haven't decided yet. And then for what concerns, I suppose the other thing that people want to know is what is going to be the qualification system. Now, I can't give you details on that because the simple reason is that we are just back from Tokyo. The IOC still has to finalize its principles for the qualification systems. When we know those principles, we can implement those principles, and then we will have the board have a look at it, and then it's the IOC executive board that decides on what will happen with the qualification system. Now, in general lines, I can tell you there will be qualification at the 23 World Championships. There will be qualifications at a final tournament in 2024. We will for sure continue having all 5 continental games involved, and we will have also continental events. What else will happen, I can't say today because I don't have that information available. So as soon as we have something, we will of course inform you, but we will of course improve on the current system. We will for sure calculate in the new qualification procedure what could happen if we have something like a pandemic, which we didn't foresee in the last qualification system. And as I strongly believe in the fact that if you have a solution for something to go wrong, it won't go wrong. The best way that we don't have a pandemic in 2024 is by having a system in place to cover it. So, having said that, any questions on Paris? Doesn't seem to be the case. Then that's a perfect introduction for the event where you will be able to qualify for Paris, which is the World Championships 2023. And I give the floor to our Vice President, Mr. Jörg Brokamp, who will give us a presentation and an update on Berlin 2023.
Now it works. So it's up to me, and the heart is a little bit booming because you realize when you stand here, it's the last championship, World Championship, before it's your own task in Berlin. So you see it with a little bit different eyes, and I was quite happy to hear that the general principles will be the same like for Tokyo, so that we might have the Olympic qualifier in 23 in Berlin. So that's what we, started to work for, and what we sold to the German government and also to the city of Berlin. So you see one of the mascot, and some of you who saw this picture said, "Oh yeah, that's typical German. This beer, and that's a Berlin beer, of course, and the Berlin beer is the official, I would say, mascot." And it's even in the official logo of the city of Berlin. So a lot of you had been in Berlin already during the last World Cup series we had been, and what I was told is that the qualification field at least is matching and is one of the most beautiful, and I think also most historical ones. So we are on the Olympic Park in Berlin of the Olympic Games of 1936, and we are on the so-called Maifeld. And the Maifeld was an Olympic venue, and does anybody know which sport had been done on this Maifeld? What do you guess? And I can tell you the Olympic gold medal went to Argentina in this event. Huh? Who said polo? Yes. Great. So it was polo in 36 as an Olympic event, and this was the field, the polo field for the polo events, and we use it in nowadays now for the, of course, archery, but it's a well-used field also for concerts and mass sport events. So there we will have the qualification, and it is, as an add-on, also the Olympic qualifier, and everybody, I think, is looking with a very focused eyes on this part of the World Championship. And we are happy to welcome you, but most of all your athletes, to be in Berlin. And I can promise you the surrounding will be slightly different than to Yankton. It means you're in a capital, and that's a total different approach, I think, to everybody. And but nevertheless, I hope it's an interesting city to host and to welcome you over there. The dates, and that's important, I think, and you might already read it in the newsletter of World Archery. The date will be from July 28 to August 7th in 23. And the ones who had been at the World Cups, they might ask where we will have the finals. That's a little secret still, and we are working quite hard on that. So We are planning not to have it on the World Cup finals place, so that might be changing. But I can promise it will be an also called iconic venue, iconic background, whatever. So it's only 2 years to go, and for us it's like the way from Berlin to Paris, and we are very happy to have this link with Paris, and look forward to welcome you all in 23 in Berlin. So that's small information and invitation at the end of our Congress. And if there are any questions, I would be very happy to answer. But otherwise, please make sure that you put it in your calendar, save the date, and maybe, for the ones who came by plane, and this was a running gag when we had the World Cup by the president of our federation. He said, Jörg, come on, you are from Germany. What is going on with your airport in Berlin? We even made it in Istanbul much faster than you in Berlin. And I can now say, mission accomplished, Ugur. So the airport is ready. So we have the new Berlin airport. It's Willy Brandt Airport, and it's working. I can tell you. So you will see a brand new airport when you come in 23. That's an additional news. It makes it maybe a little bit much easier to reach Berlin by plane. As we from Frankfurt area, we don't like it because it's more outside of the city. But anyhow, I think it's a modern facility now and much easier to travel. So that's only a small joke of the Berlin airport story. So feel free to ask whatever. I try to answer. Otherwise, I say thank you for your attention and hope to welcome you in 2 years' time. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I suppose that means no questions. Thank you very much, Jörg, for this presentation. Now, some of you might ask yourself, does that also mean that Congress will be in Berlin? That is not decided yet. That will be decided by the end of this year. You know very well that in the rules it is written that or it happens at the World Championships or at the World Cup final. So it's not known yet where the World Cup final will be, and if the World Cup final also would like to bid for it, but there is, I would say, a likelihood that it could be in Berlin as well. So we will keep you informed on how it goes, and you will be informed as soon as we know. Okay. Then, before I go to other permissible business, we have Bruce, I think, in the back of the room. Is there anyone who has any particular question to the World Championships here in Yankton? No, that means that everything is perfect and under control as we expect with Bruce. But okay, so Bruce would like to say some words. So we invite Bruce to the podium.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. Just as a last little thing for those of you that are leaving tomorrow, can all of you raise your hand that are leaving tomorrow or the next day? Perfect. All of you that would like to take a tour of this facility, the whole 150 acres, at 5 o'clock, we will meet right out the front doors, and we will take you, and the Secretary General will be driving one vehicle, and I'll be driving another one. and we'll give you a tour of all the facilities, the ranges, the fields. Everybody's been asking about those. The rest of you, we have a whole week to do it, so we'll let that happen. One thing I wanted to do, I would like to introduce one guest to just thank you for being here in South Dakota. Our governor, as you all know, did a video for us, and I think most of you have seen that. The governor's secretary of the Department of Tourism, which our state's #2 economic driver is tourism. As a test, I would assume you know #1, cornfields, agriculture. Okay, #2 is definitely tourism, and I'd like to introduce to you the Secretary of Tourism, Mr. Jim Hagan.
Thank you, Bruce, thank you. On behalf of the state of South Dakota and behalf of Governor Kristi Noem, I just want to take a minute and welcome you to our state. We are so honored that the 54th Congress is being held in South Dakota, and we're so honored that all of your teams are here for the World Championships. You know, we're a small state. Sometimes we're referred to as flyover country, but as a result of Bruce's efforts, I can tell you that that is quickly changing. We have many, many global visitors who are discovering South Dakota, not only as a place to visit, but to live as well. And I'd like to encourage you that when you go back home, wherever you live in this world, we would love to have you come back as our guests and experience the whole state, you and your teams. So again, I know you've had a successful Congress. We're so honored again that you have joined us here. We welcome you back, and we wish you a very, very successful championship. Thank you again for being here.
Thanks, Jim. I'm going to say one thing, I'll be right down there. Okay, if anybody has questions on logistics, return transportation, flights, please see Stephanie or Ellie in the lobby. I think most of you are good, but if you have any specific questions, they will assist you. Once again, thank you for being here at 5 o'clock. We're going to meet out there, and then we'll go for a quick tour, and then we'll move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce, and look forward to the rest of the 2 weeks. Okay, then we have some other permissible business. And it seems the clicker is no longer working. There we are. We would like to remind everyone and ask you to remind your compound athletes that there is athlete committee elections here. There is 1 compound women and 1 compound men to be elected for the next 4 years. And they can vote on Monday and Tuesday. And then we will announce the results as such. And then the other thing that I would like to mention is, during my report, I referred to the Olympic Solidarity Scholarships for Paris 2024. The applications have opened in this month and will be open for next month as well. It's through your National Olympic Committee. You cannot ask for them yourself, but the places are limited. And as we said, we will be very much looking at the real performance level of these athletes to see and have I would say, a better success rate as we had for Tokyo, even if, like I said, clearly we had the Olympic champion with a scholarship for the first time. The other programs are open or will be opening soon, and you can contact our member services coordinator, Cecilia Vizcara, at archery.sport. Before we go to the awards, we would like to have a very brief summary of the workshops. And I ask quickly Sergio and Juan Carlos and Siret to come here. And together with me, we will quickly try to summarize in very few seconds some of the interesting topics that were raised. And there's a lot of interesting discussions that took place, I'm sure. We will see how we can work further on those together with you in the future. So I don't know which of the 3 would like to start first. Juan Carlos can start as number 1.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Okay, it was very brief, it was very interesting. No one slept, so thank you for that. I was very kind to have Choi from the Korean Archery Association sharing out the system. It was very interesting discussion, how they qualify, the situation they have, and the encouragement was that find your own system that works for your reality and try to make it work. But the resume of most of the countries that give us share the knowledge, Spain, Mexico, Russia, Taipei, several countries more, is that there's a system for several months where they meet several times. They have a combination of qualification round, elimination round, robin round. They give some points, and they try to make it tough enough that the archers get trained in the situation and the stress. There was many questions about how the system works, who paid for what, and the combination most of the time is the first phase is paid by clubs, archers, state, and the final part of the qualification paid by federation or government. I think that was the outcome of it, and I think it was very interesting, and we all learn what the top countries are doing, depending according to the size of the country, depending on the different continents, but it's very similar. And compared to 10 years ago, when I look over this shortly, has been a huge improvement. So thank you very much for participation, everybody, and let's keep progressing.
So my workshop was about membership, talking about what federations give to the members, but also what do they expect in return. And it wasn't one federation or a few federations specifically presenting, it was just everybody sharing their experience. We also discussed the topic, what has happened with COVID. There are quite a number of federations who have lost more than 20% of their membership just because it has been difficult in this pandemic time. But there are also federations who have membership close to 1 million and lost only 1.3% of their membership. So it's really depending how has the approach been, and also situation in different countries has been different. So on the second half of the workshop, it was more focusing on asking federations' opinion, what should be World Archery doing with its members, or what it should not be doing. Like, is asking for a membership fee enough? Should that be all that we ask from our members? And when we asked around, then actually the majority was in an opinion that the minimum requirements level could be raised a little bit. So, for example, we raised the question that if at the moment we are asking from our members to host national championships once per Olympiad, so minimum 1 national championships in 4 years, then a big majority was saying that it would be completely fine to ask from the federations to host the national championships at least once per year. Of course, keeping in mind that we are not in pandemic situation for that. And the opinion on the number of members was quite divided, but for example, everybody, I think it was more than 90% or 95% who agreed that it would be completely fine also to always send their General Assembly minutes to World Archery whenever you have an assembly taking place. So I'm very happy about the opinion that came from the federations, because that's definitely helping us all to move further and grow and raise the standard a little bit. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon. The workshop I coordinated was basically aimed at providing opportunities for the national federations to exchange opinions and experiences on what they're doing regarding plans for the future. We had combinations in our workshops of federations that have a long history and a large number of members, and also other smaller federations whose interests and, of course, needs are different. But I believe that we had quite a good exchange of opinions in all of the 3 workshops, coming from different people. I mean, the experienced ones provided information that was useful to the new ones, and so on. So I think it was quite a good opportunity for everyone to to express their opinions and so on. We first of all had a video from the Israeli Archery Federation in which their Secretary General presented information regarding their plan and how much they have advanced regarding youth archery in their country, training coaches and so on. And this triggered the discussion of the people in attendance at the workshop, and with many interesting comments coming from different parts of the world. The second part was the experience that the Chilean Archery Federation presented regarding developing para-archery in their country. And I believe it was a very useful instrument for federations that do not have a program to develop para-archery at present to start their own. We had the opportunity to have Dominique, the chairman of the para-archery committee, in one of the workshops, and he contributed very important information regarding the development of para-archery around the world. At the end, we suggested that all national federations who have not designed their own development programs yet start doing so. And we offered the World Archery Americas website, where we have a webinar recorded with information as to how you can structure your plan. And if you have any questions or something, then you can contact the Continental Association of the Americas for further information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sergio, very much. Thank you to all three, and thank you all for your participation, because the idea was really to be as interactive as possible and not to have too many presentations, and I think based on the feedback I've received, that worked really, really well. Okay, we will now go to, I would say, a nice part of the Congress, where we will be honoring and awarding some awards and trophies. So the first thing we will do is awards by the Gender Equity Committee, and I will give the floor to the new chair of that committee, which is Yuko Okura.
Hello, I'm Yuko from Gender Equity Committee. We are, thank you. We'll have 2 awards, and the first one is to the person. This award will go to the woman in sports who has given to the promotion, who had long-term contribution for gender equity promotion. The person is Evelyn Papadopoulou. Unfortunately, she is not present, so I ask Mario to come, and on behalf of her, can you receive the award plaque for her? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the next award, this award is given to the member association who had progress of comparison in gender balance in national team at international event between previous Olympiad and 2 recent Olympiad. We picked out 5 member associations who have statistically shown the biggest improvement. I can say that all 5 awards will go to rather smaller federations, and unfortunately, these countries are not present, so we would like to call out the Continental Association to be representative. The first representative to World Archery America. Okay. And the country given to is Peru, Bolivia, Trinidad, and Tobago. And the 4th and 5th one is for the World Archery Africa. Who will be coming? And the country given is to Ivory Coast and Namibia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So this is, I would say, a change of, in the past we always gave it to the biggest numbers. This is really to showing a percentage so that all countries have a chance to improve in this area. So this is a change, and we will work with the Gender Equity Committee to see how we can do that in the future as well. But we wanted to also give an opportunity to some of the smaller countries. For the next part, I will now... The battery is getting really to the end. We have World Cup awards, and I asked the president to join me to present the awards to the countries concerned. So the first year we will talk about is 2019. And on the third place, it is Turkey. So if we can ask a representative from Turkey to come for the nations ranking of 2019. And then we can also already start having Korea make its way forward for the second place. And the first place is for the United States of America. As you know, of course, in 2020 we did not have a World Cup season, but it doesn't mean that we don't have one for 2021, where we have had 3 World Cup stages. So we will now go to the one for 2021. And if I can have on the screen, sorry, there's a technical glitch. That's good, because then one of the recipients can get back to his seat and come back for the second time. Okay, so now it's the Nations Ranking 2021, and the third place is France. I don't know who will come on behalf of France. I'm the president. The second place is Mexico. And the first place is USA again. The good news is that you don't have to take them too far home. Okay, so that's for the World Cup. Then I would like to ask a warm applause for all the officers going out today that were not elected or not running again. Now, first I will mention the ones that are outgoing as such following the elections this morning. So I would like to have a round of applause for all what they did. And then afterwards we will, I would say, give a small token of appreciation for the ones that had decided not to run again, which we knew in advance, so we could give them something in return. The other ones, we will see how we will honor them at the next Congress. But we would like to ask you all for an applause for the people that have, I would say, left us this morning following the elections. So Ala Gaber, Executive Board Member, who has been on our board for several years. Kurt Nunlist, who was on the Technical Committee member for also several years. It needs a break. Have the next one. Sirit, can you push it forward? Seems so. Carlos Hermes from Guatemala. Sherry Rhodes, Para-Archery Committee member. And then we're going to, the ones that had decided before the election, so we will ask them to come up, and so we can give a token of appreciation to them if they are present. So the first one is Don Rapska, our Technical Committee chairperson, who has been for 40 years coming to Congress. So Don, many, many, many thanks.
Thank you all so much. It's really an honor. Gosh, you know, everybody's so wonderful, and I love you all, and thank you for that great honor. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And the next one is Al Wills, Target Archery Committee member, long-time Vice President World Archery Americas, also chair of the Target Archery Committee. Swiss Army knife.
This is too big.
Well, I think you all heard me say this was number 16 for me, but a lot of congresses, but it really seems like yesterday I first started working with all of you, and it's been an absolute pleasure, a high, and I would do it all again. So thank you all very much. It's a deep honor. Thank you.
The next one, I think, is not here. Andreas Lawrence, I'm not sure if anybody can take it for him. If not, we'll make sure that we will give it to him at any next occasion. We weren't sure if he was going to be present at some stage or not. So we thank Andreas as well for being many years on Technical Committee and then on Target Archery Committee. So congratulations to Andreas as well. And then we ask Congress for permission and we can see if everyone is still awake. If you agree with the raise of hands, you know, for plaquettes, for silver plaquettes, it's a Congress decision. We have requested to our Board of Trustees, which are our honorary members, if they agreed with awarding a silver plaquette to our retiring Vice President. And also at the same time, we ask you if you agree to make Sangwan Kosavinta honorary Vice President of World Archery. So all those in favor for the silver plaquette and for making him honorary Vice President, please raise your hand. Okay, anyone against? Any abstention? So we can say it is unanimous, and we ask our President now to give the silver plaquette to Sangwan Kosavinta and ask him to join here. Say something?
I have to prepare something. Mr. President, Dr. Wu Erlener, Secretary General, Mr. Tom Leiden, all executive board members, and all member associations. It is my great honor to be rewarded the title as Honorary Vice President of the World Archery Federation. And also, this plaque, I really appreciate. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Oh, many things.
Yes. So this concludes, like I said, we have some people we will honor in next Congress. There is also some people involved with the Tokyo Organizing Committee games that we will honor in 2023, but because of the postponement, we run a little bit out of time, and so we will honor a lot of people in 2023 in Berlin. But now I give the floor back to our President.
Thank you, Tom. My dear friends, I think we had a well harmonized, very productive Congress in a very friendly atmosphere here in this nice city, Yankton, for 2 days. And as our executive board and World Archery management, we would like to thank our local organizing committee led by our dear friend Bruce Cole, related to his great job, including Congress Hall preparation, including well-designed Congress logo, excellent food and beverage facilities, and creation a really very nice atmosphere here in this small city. Of course, we have to thank our Secretary General Tom Dillon and our dedicated staff for very well preparation and operations of this Congress. It was really important for us. Local technicians, we thank them related to their great support, and QTV and our communication manager Chris Wells for the TV production. And of course, you, my friends, for your participation and great contribution to this Congress. We have a unique and really important family, World Archery family, and we are really a good example for some other international federations. Shortly, I thank you very much. And now I declare our 54th Congress closed. Thank you very much.
And now that our president officially closed the Congress, I will give the floor to Greg Easton, who will address us in relation to what is happening just after the Congress. So, Greg, you have the floor.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mr. President. Wanted to invite everyone here to a small reception we'll have just behind the stage. As many of you received the pen, we are kicking off the 100-year celebration for our company, the Easton Company, started in 1922, and we have a reception with some drinks and appetizers happening just behind us. I've got a short video that I'm hoping Seret is going to be able to run for me, and then after the video, just you make your way around the screen on this end, and right behind here there's a little area we can have a reception. So I hope you can come join us. Thank you.
Just as every arrow is drawn and then pushed, so goes the story of our founder, Doug Easton, who was drawn to the sport of archery in the fall of 1921 and pushed to redefine accuracy with tireless commitment the rest of his days. While laid up with leg injuries sustained during a hunting accident, 15-year-old Doug read a book about archery by Dr. Saxton T. Pope. Easton was all in and began crafting his own bows from yew wood and making arrows out of cedar and pine. By the time he was 17, his craftsmanship was renowned in target archery, and his arrows were regarded as the finest in the country. After fielding a compliment on his equipment while shooting his self-made arrows at Golden State Park, Doug quickly credited Dr. Saxton T. Pope as his inspiration. The man who complimented him then introduced himself as the one and only Dr. Saxton T. Pope. It was fate's flawless aim. Another draw, another push. In 1929, Doug moved to Los Angeles and committed to his craft full-time, opening Easton's Archery Shop, where his obsession with accuracy would hit the sport full force in a host of wood arrow innovations. The first screw-in point system that would become the world standard. And then, in 1949, with the development of the first production aluminum arrow, the 24 SRT-X. Archery would never be the same. The small family shop moved and grew. Over the next decade, Doug and team created the venerable XX75, the best-selling arrow shaft of all time. Jim Easton came to work for his dad in 1960, and his engineering mind expanded the vision of the company to new altitudes with ski pole shafts, and higher still with the development of the thermal shroud for the seismometer used on the Apollo moon landing. Then, boom, a sequence of truly game-changing launches. Aluminum baseball and softball bats, aluminum carbon hockey sticks to be used by the great Wayne Gretzky, new frame technology for road and mountain biking, and durable aluminum drumsticks. Doug Easton was laid to rest in December of 1972 after a battle with cancer. But the incredible kinetic arc of his influence would continue on with his son Jim and his grandson Greg Easton, who would help pioneer virtually every major advancement in aero technology, including the evolution of aluminum-carbon hybrids that would be the next generation to dominate the Olympic podium, the ICS internal component system, and a small-diameter carbon revolution that's redefining downrange performance to this day. The three generations of Eastons have also been relentless in fostering the growth of archery as an Olympic sport over the years, with Greg on the World Archery Executive Board and Jim serving as World Archery President from 1989 to 2005 and as Vice President of the International Olympic Committee. The Easton Sports Development Foundation is another major engine of progress that's helping ensure a strong future for the sport we love. But the powerful draw of the sport and a relentless push to innovate couldn't make history without the millions who put their trust in Easton and share our singular aim of excellence. Of all the honors and achievements, yours are what keep us looking downrange, since 1922 to the next 100 years and beyond.
I think Bruce is going to show you where to join us when you're packed up. Obviously, you can leave your stuff, but please come enjoy our reception.